Welcome everybody to the Local Marketing Institute Q&A Live. Today we are joined by the fabulous, my co-host, Greg Gifford from Search Lab Digital. You can find him, well, as you can see, you can find him on Blue Sky. And myself, Ben Fisher from Steady Demand. And you can also find us on Blue Sky. I don't know if you've noticed it, Greg, but like if you go on Twitter, nobody's there.
It's a ghost town now.
It's like empty. It's like, well, I'll see like maybe like Joy maybe do a post here and there, and Barry doing his regular posts. But I mean, he's pretty much more active, more on Blue Sky than anything else. Yeah. So I think the shift has happened. And LinkedIn, yep. Kicking ass. All right, but you can still join us on the Facebook, where we have at least 2.6 thousand members. Where we will help you out. And of course, if you would like Greg and I in your ear on a bi-weekly basis, or if you just want to go listen to us from the beginning of time, you can join us on Apple, Google, Spotify, yes, and iHeartRadio.
Boom.
And that's the show, man. That's it.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Have a good weekend.
All right. On that note, so everybody, we have a question or we need from you today. So we only have a couple questions from last week saved, and we only have a couple news items. So that means this is going to be a super short LMI, unless you, our fabulous audience, goes ahead, asks questions in the Q&A, give us something to take a look at. We will audit it. And if you want us to take a look at your competitors' GBP or website, we'll be happy to do that. Or maybe you have a suspension you need help debugging. Whatever it is, fill up the Q&A. We are looking for 10 to 15 questions if we can get it. Currently, we're sitting at a whopping 0. So it's up to you. How long do you want to hang out today? Anyway, with that, how are you doing, buddy?
I am excellent, my friend. How are you?
I can't complain. It's been a good week.
I was at SEO Week in New York last week, and it was a absolutely stellar conference.
Really?
Quite
Did you
possibly,
do your 3D glasses?
Yeah. I mean, quite possibly, it might be the best domestic conference I've ever been to.
Really?
Really.
That's saying a lot.
It was awesome.
What made it so awesome?
Really, really, really. Like, I mean, I go to a lot of conferences, and most of the time I'm not paying a whole lot of attention because it's typically a lot of the same speakers. And I've probably seen that person talk about that topic 2 or 3 weeks ago or a month ago or whatever. And so, I'll go back to the room and I'll do some work, or I'll get on some calls, and maybe I'm checking email or playing around as people are talking, but I always like to sit up front and support my friends. You've seen that. And man, this one, like no computer, no tweeting or blue skying. I was paying attention to every single thing. It was a ridiculously awesome conference.
Interesting. What was the name of it again?
SEO Week. It's Mike King's new conference.
Okay. All right. Maybe that's one to check out.
Really good.
Right on. Very
cool. Barry Schwartz told me I'm the best speaker in SEO.
Well, I'm just saying, man, yes. You are definitely one of the best. Yes, I agree.
Lots of pearls of wisdom from the conference. I could sit here for the entire show and just talk about all the stuff, but that's not really what the show's about. But yeah, it was awesome. I would definitely recommend that everybody goes next year because it was just a whole different kind of vibe.
Well, I will say this, given the fact that we only have one Q&A, I think you could drone on about what you learned and be fine.
Okay, well, yeah. So, first of all, Mike told everybody to bring their A game and do the best conference talk they've ever done. So I took that to the next level. So I bought 400 pairs of red, blue 3D glasses and edited together an actual 3D movie trailer to start my conference talk with. So I came out and it was a black screen, and I said, hey, what's the first thing that happens when you go to the movies? And everybody was like, you see previews. And I'm like, put the glasses on, because the conference team had put them out on every chair, and everybody kind of looked at me like, what? And I'm like, It's not a gimmick because the presentation title was the three dimensions of local search. So
Okay. All right.
yeah. So then everybody put the glasses on and I played the 3D intro. And like at the beginning, you see people kind of go, because the first clip was from Toy Story and it was not really that 3D, but then it kicked into like this really cinematic music and really badass 3D. It just jaws just dropped. And everybody was like, oh, holy shit. So then I start talking and I get through my normal intro and I start acting like there's a problem with the clicker. And there had been some people that had had some difficulty with clickers, so it actually kind of worked out well. And I'm acting like I can't click, and all of a sudden a video of me walks out in front of the slide. So it's just like evil twin Greg walks out in front of the slides and like kind of heckles me. And I like had a conversation back and forth, so I had to have the timing down perfectly. And then 6 or 7 other times throughout the presentation, little evil twin Greg would come out and heckle me and say stuff to me. Like I was talking about how I had done a really cool talk at SMX Munich in March about using the user-generated content from reviews and the Q&A section on your business profile to write better content for your website.
Mm.
And then he pops out and goes, and literally a week later, Google removed Q&A from profiles. So nice job on the pointless presentation, bro. So like there was some really funny stuff in it. It was a lot of fun. And afterwards, everybody was like, all the speakers were like, F you, dude, because you set the bar so ridiculously high. Nobody's ever going to be able to beat that. So
Nice.
it was cool. But there was a lot of talk. Interestingly enough, you know, for a while, a lot of people have been doing conference presentations about how to use AI to write content at scale. And it had really kind of flipped back the other direction. And everybody was like, look, you can't use AI to write content unless it's a pretty simple topic and you have heavy human editing. So it was a lot more of using AI tools for efficiency and figuring out how to use MCP to do some cool stuff and building your brand and telling your story and standing out, because as all of the AI powered search systems come into play more in the future, here's the kind of content that they like, and here are the things that you need to do, because we have been doing SEO to do SEO. We haven't really been doing marketing for a long time. Most people, I mean, some of us obviously have, but it was kind of a general consensus of you need to like get your shit together and put your big boy pants on and be a real marketer instead of just writing content they think is going to show up well in Google. So there's a lot of stuff like that. There was a really cool talk from Talia Wolf about how people can't make a decision without emotion. So you need emotion in your content. And I mean, just so much awesome stuff, dude. It was just stellar. You know, a lot of talk about how we all need to start working on shifting our own reporting and our clients' expectations away from traffic as a KPI, because traffic's going away. And you shouldn't be like, hey, you got more traffic, that means SEO is working. So there's a lot of, I mean, some stuff fairly obvious, but like it was just awesome. And the party one night, Busta Rhymes performed at the party. Like that was pretty rad.
Oh man, reminds me of the web hosting industry. Actually, back in the day, I was in that industry for over 20 years, right? And first 5-6 years was kind of boring. As after it got to 10 years, all of a sudden people started just like rolling out the killer shit, right? Like you're saying, celebrities, you know, whatever, coming and playing music, things like that, or just doing over the top stuff, you know, whether it be on a conference floor or like in speaking. And I think that's just badass that you did the whole 3D glasses and the whole heckling of yourself.
It was great, fun. Like I was nervous for the first time in a very long time to do this presentation, because, you know, I do this all the time. Like you do it 20-30 times a year. You just don't really have nerves anymore because you're used to doing it. But I was super nervous this time because there were, most of the time, video me walks out and just says something and then pops back. There were 2 times, though, where he would walk out and say something, I would respond, and then he would reply back. So I had to have the timing nailed, because he would either interrupt me or I would finish too soon and there was an awkward gap. So I was really nervous that I would screw it up, but I pulled it off, and it
Great.
turned out really well. And it's such a cool effect. I want to use it again, but I can't use it all the time because then it just becomes a stupid gimmick. So I have to like pick my shows once or twice a year where I'm going to pull it out and use it. So
Well, I mean, I think if you did like some kind of a theme where your alter ego just kind of pops out of the blue, you know what I mean? Then it's kind of something that could be acceptable because now it's a running theme, right? You know, be like
yeah,
comes out from the
it
corner and goes, "Hey, Greg, yeah, thanks for that." But like you said, it's like that feature's dead, dude.
yeah.
So what are you talking about, man?
Yeah,
Really?
but it's kind of a lot of work to get that whole effect to work correctly. So I don't know that I would want to
Mm,
do it. And like, I'm doing SEO on the beach in Spain in 3 weeks, and I only have 20 minutes for my presentation. So like, I wouldn't want to do that for that because it's going to take up too much
no.
time.
Oh
So
God, no.
it's, Brighton SEO, you get 20 minutes. So I wouldn't do it there. So, I have to pick the right spots where it becomes an effective addition and not just some stupid gimmick.
Oh my God, 20 minutes. That's all they give you?
Yeah, well, because Brighton SEO does hour sections. So you have an hour session, and
Goodness.
in that section of speakers, it's three speakers that get 20 minutes each, kind of like PubCon.
But yeah, but still 20 minutes. Oh my God.
Yeah, I
Really?
am not a fan of
What can
have
you
to go 20
do?
minutes. I have 20 minutes on the beach in
Goodness gracious.
Spain, and usually, like anywhere else, you got a little timer and maybe they'll flash stuff at you or whatever. At SEO on the beach, if you go over your 20 minutes, everyone in the audience has beach balls and they just start pelting you with beach balls.
Nice, 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 nice. Um, so everybody, just so you know, we're 15 minutes in. We have three in the Q&A. Getting there. But again, we need more like 10 to 15. So step it up. Who do you want us to roast? We could roast you. We could roast your GPP. We could roast your competitors. We could roast their websites, your websites. We may even open up the roast. Who knows? To
Yeah.
other things, many other things, right? Just saying.
Or maybe it's just a really short episode because nobody's given us anything.
Yeah, that's really true. Maybe they just all hate us now. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, I mean, hate's a strong word, actually. Dislike us,
I don't
maybe?
know. We'll
I don't
see.
know.
Oh, there's another one.
And I don't think so because look at our numbers. I mean, we're still pretty high up there. So we're doing
Yeah.
good. Okay. Anyway, fine. Let's get into the normal production of the show and then we'll
Almost
ask
normal
people almost normal
because
production.
I
Okay.
have a new computer and the sound effects are not working. And I thought they were working, but they're not. So we don't have sound effects today,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Right. Exactly. So the question is how many people in the audience would like to hear Greg doing sound effects without his sound effect tool?
Oh, I can totally rock that, dude. Let's do it. So that means it's time for the news.
Yep, okay, there you go. Good enough. All right. So, jeez. All right. So if you're on the road, stop laughing. Okay. So, news, fine. Okay. So something cool. I don't actually have a link to this, by the way, because I didn't have the time to find it. It's out on my Twitter feed somewhere, or maybe actually, I think it's on Blue Sky. Anyway, so this is actually really, really, really cool because we talked about this. You were there, Greg. We talked about having AI do review analysis on a Google business profile. And that was like they asked us, well, like what AI features would you like to see? And we were like, well, I mean, you could do this, right? I mean, Bird Eye does it. Why don't you do it?
Right.
And now it's done on mobile, at least. I was able to take a look at my company and it has an entire freaking multi-paragraph breakdown analysis of all the reviews that we
Really?
get. Yes, telling us our strengths, our weaknesses, what people are critical of, what people love, all of that. Yeah, take a look at it, dude. See if you've got it. And it was just specifically in Google Maps Chrome. So not Google Maps, Google Mobile Chrome. Um, very very detailed analysis.
Oh, it's only in Chrome though.
Only in Chrome at the moment. Well, this is where their tests always start. So there's no way they could shove this into Maps. Let me go see if I can find it really quick. Why not?
Let's see
Give me a
if I can
second.
find it
We've
here.
got
Oh, I don't
time.
even have Chrome on my, yeah, I don't even have Chrome on my phone, so can't do that.
You don't have Chrome on your phone, really?
No, I just use Safari, man.
Okay, fine. Be that way. Yeah, here we go. I'll show everybody. Okay. So this is what it looks like, basically. There you go. Okay. So as you can see, basically, if you just kind of look at the image, I mean, it's does aggregate some information at the top, like from Yelp, etc., right? But then it just goes straight down in it. There's a nice little link, of course, to stay demand, which is kind of cool, right? But then it starts going down and breaks down positive points. As you can see, Joy took a look too. Reinstatement success, honesty, transparency, passively adding revenue. So it's just like it's giving insight and intelligence around your reviews, and it also highlights negatives because come on, we all have negatives, right? So it highlights the negatives as well. So it gives a really nice overview and picture. I mean,
So the
I think,
citation links, though,
yeah.
like yours, you're just showing the top bit, but on Joy's, it's got a citation link for each of the sections. What does that
Yep.
link to? The actual review?
That's a really good question. I did not take a look at it that deep, and I could take a look at it really quickly while we're here. Why not? So let's see. Greg, now would be a great time for the dun, 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 dun. Yeah. There you go. Yes.
Took you that long to look up your company, dude?
And I'm just like trying to find it. Like I'm trying to see if I can trigger the AI portion. And that's what's hard, actually. Here we go. Okay. So, okay, I've got it up in front of me. Let's take a look. Positive feedback results. Link goes to testimonials on website. Testimonial on website. Product experts page. Our GBP management web page on our website. Website again for about, and also a website for social media management of all things. Gotta get rid of that page. Yeah. So it looks like, to answer your question, those links, while it's analyzing the reviews on GBP, those links actually go to our website.
Interesting.
Yep. And there you go. Steven said it too. Yep. So
Right.
It's not just reviews, it's also the content of your website. So it's intersecting both is really what it is. And that's what AI should do, by the way, right?
Yeah.
So, but I have to agree with you. I would have expected it to like link out. I don't think so, Stephen. I would have expected to link out and show the reviews that showed that sentiment. But
yeah,
it is what it is. But it's useful AI. That's what that is. All right. Next thing, this is going to be a rejection email from Google Business Profiles when an edit is being declined by Google. In this specific case, the email that I got was about a category. It was saying that, hey, you changed the category, but we don't believe you, so we're not going to let you do it. And that's pretty much what the email said. It's like, you can't change your business model.
is
No.
this a test or is this a permanent thing? Because I hadn't heard of this.
I may just be in some kind of group, but I mean, I can tell you that at this time, currently, yeah, I've only received a couple of these, like 4 in the last month. So I'm going to say it's a private test, probably.
So in this example that he's sharing, this was your example, right? That he shared. So it says you can't update the business category of cannabis store. Were you trying to change it to cannabis store or changing cannabis store to something else? Do you remember?
I was changing to.
From what?
I have no idea. Probably cannabis delivery or something like that.
And this was primary category?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But what I find intriguing about it is that, we make changes to our GBP, and then all of a sudden it won't accept the change, right? And you're like, well, I'm trying to change my website, but it will never change back. It'll never change. Well, maybe they're going to give us that indicator that says, well, you know what? Here's why it's not going to change.
But knowing what you know as a PE, was Google correct in not allowing you to make that change?
In that specific case, I think the answer is yes.
Okay.
Google is correct, because why are you changing your business model?
So this would be like in general changing from an SAB to a storefront kind of a thing.
Or like you're adding a phone number, but it's not a good phone number. Or
Right.
maybe you're, I don't know, you're changing your website and Google doesn't agree with it.
Right.
I think it's going to be like those kinds of things. But it's a limited test. I think in any time that Google has to balance how many notifications they send out.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why sometimes we don't see comms about certain things. But in these cases, it's pretty frustrating when your category gets denied, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it makes sense that they would offload this from being support to just an email communication.
Yeah.
Save money, right?
Yep.
All right. Let's see, how are we doing? Oh, look at that, dude. We're almost at goal. 9 Q&A. Awesome. Yeah. Keep it going. All right. So next news item really quickly is that it's official. The AI local overview equals crap.
Like anyone is surprised.
There's a current test with Google where the AI overviews are replacing the local pack. We'll give that a moment for everybody to digest. Actually, that's a question for the audience. What would you do, or what would it do to your customer's business if the local pack disappeared and was replaced by AI overview garbage? What do you think it would do to your customers, man?
This is where we need the Family Feud buzzer sound.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. I think it would destroy most of what's that?
Max hit it on the head. Screwed is the only thing you can rank for.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Pretty much. I think everybody would be searching for, my business is screwed. What should I do next?
Hilarious.
But yeah, it's crap. I mean, but luckily it's just a test. So, all right, buddy. We got 3. Well, all right. Let's actually ask everybody. So we have 3 questions from last week that were not answered. We currently have 9 in the hopper, which I have not even looked at.
I mean, we honestly probably have time to do all of them.
Maybe. Well, let's just get started. How's that? Why not?
Let's do the old ones first.
All right.
Okay.
So the old one, this one starts with you, buddy.
All right.
Max, who is here, has a question. All right. So what Max wants to know, I have a client that has community events the first Friday. Okay. Can we get positive reviews off the event even though they are not related to the business? Example, XYZ is awesome. Saw them at first Friday.
So Max, you're talking about a group of businesses that get together for this first Friday community event. Can the business get a review because someone stopped by that table or booth at the first Friday, right? Why would you not be able to get a review? Because the review doesn't, a lot of people think that you can only get a review if someone did business with you, and that is not the case. They just have to interact with you to be able to leave a review. So they're exposed to the business. Even though they are not at the business location, they see the business at a booth at this event and interact with them and talk with them. They are 1,000% allowed to leave that review.
Yep. I mean, why wouldn't you, Max? I mean, have a freaking flyer or a billboard or something with a QR code that leaves so somebody can encourage it. Encourage them to leave reviews. There's another thing that a lot of people don't also understand about GBP. Peers can review your business as well. Lawyers do this a lot, where they work with other, of counsel, etc. And it's not a conflict of interest. If they work together, if you work together with a vendor, you can leave a review, even if it's vendor to vendor. It's allowable. Right on, dude.
No.
Of course.
It's a little cheesy that they have booth babes at a booth that's just a First Friday community event, though.
There's always room for booth babes.
I guess. I don't know. All right. Next question is
All
for you
right.
from Ria, who is here today.
Okay.
This is a follow-up question from Natalie's question, which I don't remember what question that was because that was 2 weeks ago, but the practices profile got unverified when she updated the primary category from ophthalmology clinic to ophthalmologist. I've done this before and it's never triggered re-verification. The profile had no signage images. Could that be a reason why it got unverified?
No. It goes back to kind of what we talked about before with that rejection email. And that is that you're changing your business model. Think about it really quickly. You are telling Google and now the rest of the world, you are no longer a clinic where there are multiple people that you can see, multiple doctors, right? A clinic. You are now saying that you are just one ophthalmologist. So you've gone from being a practice to being a practitioner.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense
Yeah,
from
and
a
they're not
business
going to do
standpoint.
anything because of whether or not you have images of your signage in the profile.
Yeah, they don't look at that. Not when you're switching a category. So, so yeah, no, this is just. I think it's part of the new normal. Is that whenever you make these changes, I mean, I guess it's not really new normal. Say it's like turned up. Is that Google's going to make you re-verify as part of an integrity check on their data? Basically, is what it comes down to. So. All right, then we have one for you. Actually, no, this one's for me too. I guess from Eric or Aaron.
Yeah, just because I haven't ever done anything with florists. So,
All right.
let's see. Is Aaron here today?
I don't know.
Aaron's here today. This is
All
awesome. That was
right.
100% of pre-submitted questions or questions from last time where everyone is here today. So I would do the
Fantabulous.
applause and oohs, but again, we don't have sound effects. So Aaron's question: are certain industries not eligible, or at least harder to get Google to approve, to operate as SABs from a residential address? We have multiple florists struggling to get reinstated despite great documentation, accurate listing info, etc. They deliver locally and interact with customers face to face as part of their delivery handoff.
I need to check something. Give me 1 second. I need to go look at categories real quick. They're not in a duress category. I can tell you that for a fact. So no, it's not going to be category dependent. But I need to see business models. Give me a moment, everybody. Exactly. So florists have two options: wholesale florist or florist. That's it. There's nothing else. So, get out of that really quickly. So basically, I don't think it's getting harder to approve necessarily. I think what you need to demonstrate from a business standpoint, though, is important. Understand, by the way, that Gosh, and they're saying what do you mean by reinstated versus verified? I mean,
I mean, I have a
I think
question.
it's
I have
all
a
about
very simple question.
reinstatement. Yeah, yeah.
How can you have a florist operate out of a home? A florist is a flower shop with multiple flowers and they put flower arrangements together. If it is a home-based business, then all they're doing is they're delivering flowers from a florist. They're not the florist, right?
Not necessarily, man. I don't know. I mean, I get you could do it, right? Like if you had, say, your orders were delivered to your home and then you delivered those to your customers.
But then
You
you're a
kind of,
go-between. You're not the actual florist. The florist.
yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So let's say she says they have flower coolers in their garages or sheds and creating arrangements at home. Okay. They just don't provide walk-in services, right? Okay, yeah, and that makes a lot of sense, right? So,
Okay,
like
that
I
makes
said,
sense then.
they
Yeah.
have them at home and then they deliver them. I from a reinstatement standpoint, there's no difference, by the way, in any of this verification. Yes, verification is a different story. That how you do that for a florist at home would be a little bit more different, probably more akin to a real estate agent, maybe. Um, but they should be able to get reinstated. I need to go back to something we were talking about last week, and when we talk about anytime somebody talks about reinstatements, usually is it doesn't matter how accurate your information is. It doesn't matter sometimes even if you give them all the perfect documentation. Sometimes there is just something on the back end that we can't see that blocks a reinstatement. Um, in this case, of course, I hope if it's an SAB, I hope you're definitely not showing the address. I'm assuming you're not because you mentioned SAB. So, from a reinstatement standpoint, I got to ask this, Aaron. Everybody says they have great, perfect, awesome, the best documentation in the entire world. And then they show me something with something that's been done with a Sharpie. So I'm going to ask the question: what kind of documentation did you show, Aaron?
Yeah.
You can be brief, by the way. You can just like bullet point it out and it'll just be like phone bill, business license, whatever.
Phone
And
bill
then
wouldn't work though, because it'd be not in the name of the business.
no, sure, phone bill would work if it's in the name of the business.
Only if
Absolutely.
it's in the name of the business, though.
Correct. Only in the name of the business, right? Let's say it's Aaron's florist delivery service, and if she just has an Aaron, it's not going to work.
Okay, Aaron, you say that you submitted utility bills. Are those utility bills in the business name, or is it just the person's name that's the business owner because it's their house?
Same thing with the IRS.
No, 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 I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the utility bill that you sent in, is the utility bill list the name of the business or list the name of the person that lives in the house?
The general rule of thumb, okay, is
Wow, that
that
should
it
work then.
must match the name and the service area. Basically, is really what it comes down to. Um, yeah, I'll be honest with you, Aaron. This is something where somebody probably needs to review all the documentation. Is what it probably is going to come down to. Double check that the phone number is not on another Google business profile as well, because sometimes people do that kind of stuff. But pretty much universally, the answer is that if you've provided the right type of documentation and there's nothing wrong on the back end, then you're going to get reinstated. Unless they screw up. That's a different story. And in that case,
get to the chopper.
Exactly. Yes, you got it. All right. But anyway, thank you, Aaron, for the question. That was good. Excellent. And now we can jump into the Q&A. All right. We're going to start
I
with
guess
you,
it's
my
my
friend.
turn, right?
It
This would
is
be
your
the dun
turn,
dun dun
yes.
dun 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 dun. Come on down. I guess it's my
Yeah,
turn.
we really need a soundboard. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm just messing with you, buddy.
If anybody's listening for the first time, we usually have sound effects. They're just not working because of my new computer. So
Yeah,
please
yeah.
don't think that we're weirdos because we're doing goofy stuff.
No, we're just
Of
weirdos.
course,
It's
we do
okay.
goofy stuff every time anyway. So
Yeah, I was going to say, come on, dude. Really? Come on,
yeah.
let's be realistic about this. Okay. Oh, man. All right. So we're having too much fun, everybody, by the way. Thank you very much. Okay. So the first question for you is, oh, he's asking, what did you get? Hold on. Sidebar. What
I don't
kind of
even know what a
computer?
zappy thing is.
Neither do I, but actually, Max wants to know what kind of computer you got.
Oh no, I got the badass like best MacBook Pro you could get.
Ah, no, okay. It's a MacBook Pro.
Yeah,
Nice.
like $3,600
Yeah, right on.
monster.
Yeah, yeah. Well, most Macs are pretty expensive, man. I'm just saying,
Okay,
but they're worth
zappy
it.
Google review
They
thing.
are so worth it. Okay. All right.
I pulled up the website, and the very first thing is double your monthly Google reviews in 90 days or your money back.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Oh, this is so it's silly. It's just like a an RF chip and you tap it and it just pops
Oh,
up the stuff.
that's exactly what it
So it's an
is.
NFC thing.
It's totally an NFC thing. You know what? And I was thinking
Okay,
about
well ask the
why would
question because we still haven't read the question.
why wouldn't you get like an NFC chip in a ring or something like that and just like bump somebody to have them leave a review?
Right.
All right. Oh man. Okay. So my first Zappy Google review stand in the wild. Is it important to suggest that users do not leave a review while connected to the location's Wi-Fi?
Yes, it would be important to not have them leave reviews connected to the location's Wi-Fi. So good call on that, Mark. Uh, I am curious, Mark, where you saw this in the wild. Like,
Right?
what type of business was it? A dentist. Wow.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense though, dude.
Yeah, but how many people, like, I don't connect to my dentist's Wi-Fi when I go to my dentist.
Neither do I.
So, like, maybe if he's just asking in general, yeah, you don't want to be on the Wi-Fi, but like at a dentist or doctor's office, you're not going to be on the Wi-Fi anyway. So, like, I don't really see a problem with doing it at a place like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's the old IP question, right? Is really what it comes down to. It's like if you
Yeah.
have
And if
multiple
all of a sudden
people,
you're doubling your monthly Google reviews in 90 days and they're all coming from your location, Google's going to not be okay with that.
yeah, that's gonna. Put it this way: it could cause a filter. That's really basically it.
Yep.
You know. Um, but yeah, no.
All right. Next question for you is
All
from
right.
Paul.
All right. Hey, Paul.
Paul wants to know, can I get a suspension turned over by only submitting one document, the business registry from the state, or should I wait for more documentation? It's a new business that was suspended after the name change. There are there is no utility bill or website yet.
The answer is yes. You need. Well, no. I'm sorry. To answer your question, the answer is no. You need more than one. I'm not going to tell you the magic number, but you do need more than one. Let's say it's at least two. Greater than is better. Let's just put it that way. Um, yeah, I mean, new business name change, whatever. Yeah, no utility bills, no website. Get a cell phone bill changed into the business name, and you'll probably be just fine and hunky dory. If you're showing the address, of course, what are we going to say? You must have signage. That is an absolute.
Paul, just out of curiosity, what kind of business is it that they would try to set up a business profile before they even had a website?
I get a lot of those.
I know, but I'm just curious. Tobacco shop. Okay. And if it's a brand new business, is it a new business because it was a previous owner tobacco shop and they bought it and so then the name changed? Or it's a brand new tobacco shop and they set up the profile and then they came in and they changed the name? So why would they do
That's
that?
exactly what they did.
Like, well, of course you're going to get suspended for doing that. Like, you set the profile up and got verified as business A, and then you immediately change the name to business B. Like,
And you have
that's,
no website.
yeah, that's not smart.
All right.
His boss. Well, have your
All
boss
right.
listen to the recording here and hear me going, yeah, that's not smart.
Exactly. All right. Oh man. Okay.
Um,
So la la la. All right. He never listens. Okay. All right. Next question for you. How do you use AI and what tools? And this is from our friend Max.
I've got ChatGPT on the desktop. I mostly mess with ChatGPT for doing stuff. Um, my team does a lot of stuff, but I don't even know what they use because it's not my job to do that stuff. I really like, we have a really badass tool called Kaizen, and it most people when I start talking about it, they think it's like the normal AI note taker for your Zoom calls or your Google Meet calls or your Teams calls or whatever. And it does do that, but you also it's like a whole customer service focused thing. So you get a sentiment score after every single call because the AI will analyze the things that were said in the call and give you a sentiment score. You can put in watchwords. So if a customer mentions budget, then you know they might be wanting to increase their budget or they may be in danger of churning because they're worried about the budget that they have available to spend. You can list all of your contacts at that particular client and then also mark which client or which contacts are decision makers and say, I want to have a decision maker on one of our monthly calls at least once a quarter. And if that doesn't happen, then we get an alert to let us know, at an admin level, hey, this client hasn't had a decision maker on a call in 6 months. There's all kinds of really cool stuff. You have individual GPTs trained on each client. It also connects to all of the email communication that you do. So now you have an entire GPT trained on all of the knowledge of every bit of communication with that client. And you can go in and query, anything about individual clients. And that one's really, really, really kick-ass. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh man, I just found a really kick-ass new tool. And this relates to a question that I think Max asked in a second. Yeah, that link is, let me find it really quick here. Um, oh, I don't remember. Yep, it is this Kaizen.ai, sharing it in the chat. And if you're interested, Max, I'm happy to intro you to the owner because I am friends with him because we were actually in the beta for that before it was released to the public. So, Max, you got my email. Just pop me an email. I'm happy to give you an intro. Also, there is a really kick-ass tool that I found out about at Brighton SEO a month ago that Dixon Jones from Majestic started, also from Nlinks, and it's called Waikay, Waikay, which stands for What Does AI Know About You or something like that.
Something like
But
that.
it's a
Yeah.
kick-ass tool. You basically put in like a URL for a client and then put in a URL for two different competitors and then it will go out and see what the AI systems know about your business. So it will compare you to your competitors and it will give you those citation links that the AI systems are pulling the information from. So like for instance, if you set it up, like I just was playing with it today for Search Lab, and it had something like 39 facts about my business that the AIs know about me across the various AI platforms. And it gives you a link for the citation where the AIs have when the AI lists something about you and has a citation link, it scrapes those links and gives them to you. So if there's incorrect information about your business, you can go see where that source site is to hopefully correct that information. And the other really cool thing that it does is, let's say we're talking florists and we put in the florist that we were just talking about and two local competitors. it will check out all of the entity-based information that the AI systems know, and then it will give you suggested content because it detects content gaps and it says, hey, this competitor it has a higher score on Claude than you do because they get more citation links from these sites and they have more information in Claude than they do in ChatGPT because Claude's looking at the website and Claude can see all this content on their website that you don't have. So it starts giving you a list of write this content, write this content, write this content. And it's a really, really kick-ass tool. And it's like WAIK. Here, I'll look it up and
It's going to be hard to find.
it is WAIKAY.io. And it is super rad. You get the whole like brand overview score of how you perform. It tracks things over time. Like it's a really, really kick-ass tool. And I literally, like, I've been so busy and I was at SEO week last week and I haven't had a chance to mess with it. So I literally just signed up for it for the agency this morning and started playing around with it between calls. And it is super, super kick-ass. So I dig that a lot too. How about you, dude? Anything you use that's awesome?
Yeah. I'm only going to highlight two actually at this point. So for my meetings, we use tactic.io. And there's a reason for it because while the tool that you're talking about is great, I think it might be over complex for its needs, at least my needs, right? And so Tactic, tactic.io, which I'll be giving you all in a second, all what it does is very simple. It acts as a transcriber. It's transcribing this as we speak, by the way, right? And then when you're done, it shows you kind of like stats, like who talked and all that kind of stuff, right? But more importantly, you can just literally click a button and it generates AI data. So my common clicks are, Jimmy, give me a brief summary with action items, or give me a detailed summary, which includes those action items. And then what it does is it breaks down the entire overview of what the meeting was about, who talked, the highlights of what they said. If you saved certain things during the meeting, like for instance, I will remember to send you that list about blah, right? It'll put that down as an action item. And we normally do this just through talking, right? So it's
Right.
going to pick it up. And then, of course, I can share these notes now with everybody who was in the meeting too, so everybody knows what action items they have, et cetera. This all ties into Google Workspace and everything, by the way. So you can set up your to-do lists and all those kinds of things, right? So it automates a lot of those types of features. It's a very simple solution to, I would say, a complex problem, right? And that's what I like. I like simple solutions. So it meets those needs. And you know what? How much do you actually remember from all the meetings that you've been in just this week?
I don't remember stuff I talked about in a meeting 2 hours ago, bro.
Exactly. So it allows you to focus on the meeting, and then you can always come back and you can query your meeting. So for instance, the way I like to use it is, let's say we have a customer. They come in, they're like, hey, we need to set up new profiles for this. We need to debug this portion of this GBP. This one is suspended. This one's the most important one. Little details like that. I can just go back into my chat and say, what locations did we say were the most important to work on?
Yeah.
And boom, it's right there. So I can query it just like you can query ChatGPT, basically, is what it comes down to. So that's why I like that one. The next one I like, which is gomagi.com. This one I've spoken about before. Why the hell are you paying? Actually, I'm going to ask you a question, Greg. How many different services do you pay for?
How do you spell that?
GOMAGAI.com. Yeah. So how many tools do you pay for? Do you pay for ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Do you pay for Claude?
I don't, but someone on our team does.
Do you pay for Gemini?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You have a team. Does your team actually work on chats together and projects?
Potentially, yes, depending on what's going on with the clients.
How about if that was all in one place? And also, do you do imagery in AI?
Yep.
Do you do video in AI?
No.
If you could have one tool that did everything and cost less
Is
than
this the one
ChatGPT,
tool that like you put in your query and it decides which system is the best to give you your answer?
you can do that too, or you can create personas.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
somebody
if
was talking
you,
about this in Munich.
yeah, so it's like, for instance, if you want to, you can create a text-based persona, which is basically like where you gather all your articles and things that you've done, and then it writes like you. But you can also train a persona with images. So let's say you upload 50 images of yourself, right? Now all of a sudden you can say, I want an image of a guy who is at a car dealership who is slamming a sledgehammer through a Tesla,
Right.
right? And say, make that guy Greg Gifford. Now, it's not going to go out and search for Greg Gifford. It's going to look at your persona that you set up. Now, all of a sudden, that guy with the sledgehammer is you. So you can do consistent imagery, basically, is what I'm saying. And then you can bring that into video, which is even freaking crazier, by the way. Video AI it's here, whether you like it or not. It is totally here.
I'm
You can
psyched
direct
for it,
an
dude.
entire, you can direct an entire movie in like a short, like 15-minute film in like, I don't know, 10 minutes.
Dude, I don't think we are that far away from all of us having our own personalized Netflix.
That's already kind of here.
Yeah, not really. I'm talking to
Almost.
the point where it goes, all right, Greg Gifford likes Star Wars and Star Trek and sci-fi, and he also likes horror. I'm just gonna make him a bunch of episodic horror shows that it writes and produces and has video of, and no one else will see that but me unless I share it with somebody. Like that's
Yeah.
coming soon.
Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely. So, it's just really interesting. I mean, I've talked to Dustin Stout, the owner, about his product many times actually. And I was like, well, yours is like, $29 or $39 a month. What about all these other tools that are doing all in one for like $5? He's like, yeah, he's like, they don't understand how the API system works, basically, is what it comes down to as far as costs. So it's just really interesting. It's nice to have everything in one place.
Okay, hold on. Max has a link to an Instagram ad slash post that says it was made with AI.
Mm-hmm.
Max, the dude walking down the street, that's not AI. That's an actual video of a dude walking down the street and talking. It's just editing the video clips together with AI, correct?
Yeah, this is not AI.
So it's just AI edited, not AI created.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh,
No,
he's
wait.
saying he's going to prove it.
So wait, Max, that is that dude walking down the street is AI generated. It's not a real dude. Because it kind of looks like the guy on the icon or the avatar for Fast Affordable Air.
Well, but you can do that with AI, though.
Oh, I don't
So
know. He
that's why it's
walks really funny
acceptable.
though. Max is like clearly doing something. Okay, so okay. What I'm saying is the video of him walking down the street, not the audio, but the video of him walking down the street was something you guys shot. That wasn't created by AI, correct? Because all this is going to do is switch out whatever he's saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're talking about full AI where you're not filming anything. You're just telling the system, make me a video of
Just
this
make
stuff.
this right. I mean, I've been playing it around with our clients a little bit, and I mean, you can take the photo of, say, the owner, right, and you can input it into whatever scenario that you want. But that you could just tell was done by somebody. I'm actually pulling out our questions right now, Greg. So,
right on.
yeah, so you might as well just fill
Yeah,
out the
that's cool
airport
though,
real
Max.
quick. God, man, I want to say there was a big brand. I want to say it was Adidas or something like that. That they did a full AI commercial, something that they said normally would have taken them 6 months with a $600,000 budget, easy, created it in 60 seconds for $30.
Yeah.
Same quality.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So we film him to be the avatar. He's going to make a video talking to you and send it. heygen.com. Okay. All right. Well, check it out. Why not? Hey, Jen. Oh, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to take a little bit look deeper into that. But thank you, Max. We will definitely check it out. I don't know, man. We got 6 minutes left. I mean, 4 minutes left actually is really what it is. So we can't really do a roast right
Yeah,
now.
we can't really do the roasts.
Yeah.
Let's do Mike's question. Mike is having trouble with Google not showing recent reviews. Clients have sent screenshots of the reviews they left, but they don't show up in Mike's GBP.
Sorry, I'm doing something actually really quickly. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. All right. Yeah, okay. So this one's actually really easy, Mike. So when this happens, you can go ahead and you can send a Google support ticket about missing reviews. Show them the screenshots for the missing reviews. They will see if they can find them. They will see if they don't violate the filters, the AI filters. And if they are good, they will restore them. Now, if they don't restore them, then you've got to go to Greg.
Get to the chopper.
Exactly. There you go. You're going to have that soundboard working in 2 weeks, aren't you?
I'm seriously, as soon as we finish the call, I'm going to go figure out why it's not working.
Okay.
It annoys me.
Yeah, right.
It was so like I was saying, you find these things like when I first signed on and I had to go give permission for Zoom to record my screen, like things like that. You realize there's things you forgot. But I specifically went and re-downloaded the software to do the soundboard and imported the soundboard from the old computer and had it all set up specifically for today. And so I'm bummed that it did not work.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is, buddy. So you tried. That is all
I tried.
that matters. Okay. So, hey, okay. Hold on.
Okay, I gotta. So Max just did the thing. I'm gonna see what the video is.
All right. Okay. Billy too. Max does.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, Greg and Ben, it's Max just quick.
Okay. Well, good enough.
Yeah.
All right. Fine. Be that way. Nice one, Max. Good
So
for you.
Max, is that the audio of his voice? Is that sampled off of other voice stuff from like actually that guy's voice, or is it one of the Hey Gen random voices that you just chose? Right on. That's cool.
Yeah. So you trained it with his voice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty rad.
Very cool. So, with all of that being said, I think we
got everything copied over.
We are done for the day, man.
Sweet.
We're booked. We got another one on the books,
and that means we got a lot of stuff prepared for next time.
Oh, we sure as heck do. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions. So thank you, by the way, everybody. We met our quota. We met our goal. We got 10 questions into the Q&A today. So, hey, there you go. Excellent. Thanks for coming. This is another one on the books for us. And Greg, I will see you on the flip side, my friend.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
And we will all see you in 2 weeks. Bye. See ya. Goodbye.
Peace.
Out. What else?
Adios.
Adios. How do you say goodbye in the next place where you're traveling to?
Adios. I'm going to Spain.
Adios. Okay. Yeah. Have you ever used those Meta glasses?
I have not.
They just added real-time translation to those.
Really?
Yes.
I'm
pretty
waiting for
awesome.
him to update the software for my hearing aids, and I can just have live translation in my ears.
Dude, there you go.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, how come they're not doing that?
Well, they do have devices that you can buy that are like little earbuds that you put in that do the live translation. But,
Yeah, true, true.
I'm sure they just have to do some sort of a update to the software or to the app that runs the hearing aids to have that work. But
Probably.
it'd be pretty sweet.
Probably. Yeah. Okay. All right. Fine. We're out of here, everybody. Have a great weekend.
See y'all.
Bye.